Okay, so well here we are. There's been a bit of a gap since I last talked to anybody, but that's because I've been really tied up with trying to get a few things finished off and not succeeding terribly well. But anyway, right now we are in El Nido, which is a beautiful spot just in the northern part of Palawan, on the far western side of the Philippines, bordering the South China Sea, and it is quite definitely one of the most beautiful places in the country. As you might be able to see behind me, well, basically El Nido consists primarily of Bacuit Bay, which contains a whole series of islands, cast limestone islands. You can see some of it behind me. This is what's behind me is called Minilok Island, and it's a protected area. It's an all marine reserve, and I'm assured that since protection came in the 1990s, the corals have done very well, and we've got some fantastic reefs. So I'm about to go diving and to find out. Now I'm here being looked after by great team of people from El Nido Resorts, which is, as the name implies, is a company, a group of hotels. Excuse all the weights being dropped around all over the place here. A group of hotels company that runs a group of hotels in the Bacuit Bay and El Nido area, and they've given me my own private team, my own private boat. So just behind me, dropping the weights, is Julie, who's the dive master for today. He tells us where to go and what to do, and wherever he goes, I have to follow. So, and then in the background there somewhere, oh there she is Hanyel, the biologist with the hotel's environment department. And behind them the boat crew, who I have to say names I don't know. But anyway, so we are going to go diving and see what we can see. Hopefully some really good stuff, and we'll show you later.
So first up was a beautiful shoal of snappers with their golden yellow fins. Just a stunning sight. At some point the dive masters found through the shoal and just passed like a curtain, and then closing around behind us again. Just absolutely fabulous. And then a stunning sea anemone colony, complete with a group of clownfish. This is quite a common sight, with clownfish living in the sea anemones and defending the site from all comers, including cameramen. And then a really wonderful sight, a hawksbill turtle swimming along, browsing on the coral, taking chunks out of it every now and then, just foraging very quietly and peacefully, completely ignoring my presence, which is just wonderful because it enabled me to just swim along with it, parallel, just keeping my distance but really staying pretty close, and absolutely this turtle not at all fazed by my presence. Really wonderful. Just here, taking a big bite out of a little piece of bubble coral, which is quite a common piece of soft coral. Takes a good bite and swims on his way. And finally, a fairly typical shallow water coral reef scene in water about 5 meters deep. A huge mass of corals, but mostly just what's called aquapora species, a kind of hard coral. And in this instance, it's called staghorn corals, as you can see. Probably why they called that, with their incredible shapes.
So well, here we are. It's 24 hours after that, all that diving, or pretty well 24 hours. It's about just before 8 in the morning the next day, and here we are at the resort. It's Lagan Island Resort. You can see it's a pretty stunning location and beautiful spots. This is my third time to stay here. Every time I come to this part of the Philippines, the El Nido Resorts company just jumps up and says, oh yeah, we'll put Nigel up for a couple of days, and so here I am again, and it's been a great place. It really is if you're coming to El Nido at all in this part of the Philippines, then this is one of the great places to stay. It's also one of the most expensive, I have to say, but that's not something that affects me, because I'm hosted by these people, which is just fantastic. So anyway, so yesterday's diving turned out to be pretty amazing. We had 3 dives, so a great day, pretty exhausting. I'm really tired this morning, but what we're doing next is this morning we're going off to explore a mangrove. I'm not sure exactly how we're doing that. I guess it's going to be purely by boat, and then after that I need to head off back towards Puerto Princesa, which is the provincial capital, and from there on I then fly off to Bohol to do the final leg of this trip. And Bohol is a big island in the middle or central south of the country, where there's again more diving and more forests and so on.